Good afternoon, this Tuesday, April 21st. Thank you for joining us at 3 o'clock with SOC. Give me a second while I welcome our Spanish speaking neighbors. Buenas tardes. Gracias por estar con nosotros este martes 21 de abril a las 3 p.m. con SAC. Si quieren acceso al programa en español, por favor marcan al número que aparece en la pantalla y usted será conectado con una línea de conferencia. Lo que está en la pantalla ahora en este momento no es el número. Deja compartir ese número con ustedes, que es el 425-436-6200. 425-436-6200. Ahora sí está el número correcto en la pantalla. Cuando aceptan su llamada, por favor, compartan el contraseña o el clave que aparece en la pantalla, empezando con el número 6, que es 627-682. Thank you for giving me that time to welcome our Spanish-speaking neighbors. My name is Tammy Rivera. I'm the Executive Director and Lead Organizer for Southside Organizing Center, SOC or SOC for you old schoolers. Today, we have our regularly planned program, but it's an important one. We will be back tomorrow with special editions, hoping to have our first Latina elected to the Common Council with us, Jocasta Samaripa, who was sworn in today. And that would be tomorrow's forum. And on Thursday, County Supervisor Silvia Ortiz Velez, and on Friday, Senator Tim Carpenter. So you don't want to miss the rest of the days here in the forum. We are here for you. We have been since this all started. We haven't missed a day. You can reach us in all the ways you used to, some new ways, and we'll have to wait till we can see you in person, hopefully sometime soon when we can do so safely. You can connect with us on our phone, 414-672-8090, 414-672-8090. Clarissa's manning the phones for us. And you can reach us at our email, soc@socmilwaukee.org. We're going to start out with a favor to ask you all. We really need you to cooperate and give us some feedback on the program so that we can meet your needs, know what we're doing well that's being helpful for your cooperation. And all this week, you can enter that drawing by filling out the survey. There are only 4 questions. It doesn't take more than 5 minutes. You click on the link that appears in the comment section. And the first question is, was the information helpful? The other one is, what about the program you appreciate? The next question is, what could we do differently or change? And then the last question are any comments and thoughts you have. So super, super easy. There is the link showing up on the screen at SurveyMonkey, and it's also in the comment section. Super easy, and we really need your help. Then we'll move on to our first segment of the forum, which are critical updates. Well, there's never a dull moment in Milwaukee. Today, the leadership of the Common Council changed hands. Formerly, Alderman, I'm getting tongue-tied. That's how much activity there was at the Common Council today. Former President of the Common Council, Ashante Hamilton, has completed his service there as the president, continues on as an alderperson. And we have a new president of the Common Council, Chevy Johnson. He was elected today by his peers in a vote of 8-7, super close vote, just by one person. The leadership, besides leading his peers and initiatives, that role becomes the mayor in the case the mayor resigns. Um, and so it's a really important role. And Alderman Chevy Johnson has that role now. Those that voted in favor of Alderman Johnson were Alderpersons Samaripa, Dimitrijevic, Spiker, Murphy, um, Kovac, Perez, Bauman, and Johnson. Those that voted for the other contender, which was Alderperson Malali Cox, were Hamilton, Lewis, Dodd, Rainey, Borkowski, Stamper, and Cox. So it's a new day. They're at the leadership of the Common Council, and you're hearing it from us this very day when it took place. The other notice I want to share with you is you don't want to miss tomorrow's show or tomorrow's forum. Tomorrow we have Travis back with us, and we know how much you all appreciate and love him. And he's going to be sharing a new project we're kicking off for what will be tomorrow, the 50th anniversary of Earth Day. So please do join us back tomorrow. Right now, we're going to move on to the next segment of our forum. And we have a lot to share as well about civic engagement, which is not just elections, but all the activities that take place from running to an election, the election, and the work that comes after that. All the legislation, all the committee work, all the budgets, the way your elected officials represent you or don't. So it's really an everyday, all year activity being civically engaged. With that, I'd like to invite our civic engagement manager, Gabe, to come and give us all the news on our recent activities. Oh, sorry, I skipped ahead a section. We have our first section on the coronavirus update. And so I apologize for that. We had a little switch in schedules. And so I got turned around. How we say in Spanish. Se me fue la onda. So with us today, we have a special guest. We've been sharing with you information, resources, and ways that you can take action regarding the coronavirus response. And one of the great resources that's taking place right here on the South Side is Ayuda Mutua. And today with us, we have Janet Martin, who will be sharing how that resource got started, what does it involve, and how you can participate. So we can bring Janet onto the screen. We'll talk about that resource. I'm going to check here to see what's the latest on getting our guest here. Looks like not quite ready yet. How about then, if we're not quite ready yet, can we skip ahead like I just did and see if Gabe can come on with us? Is that possible? To our civic engagement manager, Gabe. I'm checking my cell phone, y'all, to see how we can manage who the next guest is going to be. So not trying to ignore you guests that are here with us. All right, so our production manager is saying the guest is ready. Go ahead and bring them on. Hola, Janet.
Hello.
Thank you for being with us today.
Of course.
I was just saying we a little bit about we try to start out every forum sharing information and resources and ways folks can take action in response to coronavirus, and that we had a special guest of a very significant effort that's taking place right here on the near south side with Ayuda Mutua Milwaukee. So, introduce yourself a little bit. Talk about how this effort got started, who's involved, what's going on, how people can help.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so my name is Yane Martin. I'm one of the organizers with Ayuda Mutua MKE. So we're a collective of educators, artists, cultural workers who came together. Um, it was March 12th when we all jumped on the call to start talking about how we're going to strategize um, doing mutual aid efforts on the South Side. And in particular, the reason that we all felt this call was just knowing from lived experience that our immigrant, our Spanish speaking, and our poor communities on the South Side aren't pretty much supported by any state or local entities. And especially knowing that this global pandemic would affect people monetarily, both like mentally and physically, we wanted to make sure that we could, in the very least, be able to support by being able to provide some aid with things like food, cleaning supplies, and hygiene supplies. Just like we understand that people are affected either in the workplace, losing jobs. Like we know, undocumented families aren't able to receive any federal aid. And so with that, we just wanted to make sure that we would be able to support, at least in the way that, no folks would have to go hungry during these times.
And so, right now, you're taking donations and distributing them among the community. How can folks in the community get involved and help?
Yeah, so that could be done in a variety of ways. We're very mindful of our own health and not having that trickle onto the folks that we're assisting. So people can donate physical items at our distribution center on Mondays and on Fridays from 12 to 3. And so donations look like food, any hygiene supplies, things like diapers. We're seeing a big need for children who use diapers. So that's one way to support. If making it out to our center is an issue due to accessibility or lack of transportation, people can also support monetarily. So being able to make a donation to our Venmo at Cosecha 13, or our PayPal, which is also Cosecha 13. And so any of those funds, we make sure that we're just going out and buying those supplies. And then we're also looking for support for delivery drivers. So we're also offering the service for our community members who also, for any reason, do not have the ability to be able to bring themselves to our center, that we offer this delivery service. So we're also looking to folks that may have a vehicle, have some time to spare de martes a jueves to be able to do some delivery drop-offs.
And what measures are you all taking there? I saw this already, but I'd like you to share to keep the items that you're getting donated safe in terms of
Yeah,
disinfecting.
so anytime that we're going out for purchases or bringing them into the building, we're always wearing masks and constantly changing our gloves and sanitizing those. So that is at the very entrance of where we enter, where we have all of these supplies. So making sure that, we're providing ourselves with masks, we have the gloves ready. As we get donations, we're also making sure that we're cleaning those out. And then we're also constantly cleaning up the tables in which these items are sitting in. Also within our space, we're also making sure that we are taking into consideration social distancing, so being apart and all of that. We also are doing these offering the delivery through a window. So it's not like we have folks coming into a building. So we're just having like one point of contact to la gente que viene por la ventanilla. And the same for the delivery drivers. All of the bags are double bagged. So delivery drivers are taking out the last bag that we would have touched and just leaving one bag at the person's home, on their steps, on their porch. So.
Tell me, Yannette, maybe share one or two things that have really been inspiring about this effort, and then maybe one or two things that you all have learned as a new initiative in a time like this that could be helpful to others.
Yeah, I think what's been inspiring and a reminder to us is that we can always lean on each other to be able to get us through these times. We don't need to wait on any entities or systems to take care of us. We can do that ourselves. And so I think that that's been a common thread in conversation amongst us, that we know how to survive. We're resilient people. We've lived through a lot of things, and we carry that resilience with us. And so it's just important to lean into that moment, right? Like, who's going to do it? It's just going to be us, right? And we know that like, people will follow along, right? People will support, because I think that this is a human issue, no matter what politics aside, ¿verdad? This is about all of us being affected by this common thing. So there's that. I think another really important point for us is that we continue to define this work as solidarity and not as charity. We don't see any of the support that we're getting as like being a charity case, but that this is literally about being in solidarity with our community members, right? And we're doing that day-to-day work as volunteers. We're not receiving any benefit from this other than seeing our community members survive. We're always assessing, right, what is it that our folks need? How can we make sure that we're able to provide what we can right now? And I think más que nada is that we don't see this work as a one-time thing, like the pandemic is over, yeah, Ayuda Mutua se fue, but mutual aid is a form of life. Mutual aid is a form of organizing. And so what we know is that we are hoping that this work transforms ourselves, the community that we're serving, and the city in general, right? I think that this is a time that we're being called to redefine what we've known, to, I don't know, all the things that we've known, all the services that we thought would support us. Like, we should be questioning everything and building our own. So yeah.
That's really uplifting and energizing to hear, inspiring in and of itself. And so, what has been maybe a lesson learned or a challenge in the process, Yannette, that would help other folks kind of wanting to dig in as you move forward? Anything unexpected as you all? I mean, all of it was unexpected, but every time you dig in, like, there's life lessons, things you didn't see, cautions, logistics. If you don't have any now, that's fine. Yeah, good stuff. Thank you for stepping forward. Thank the whole group for their contributions. Thank you for the wisdom that you're sharing, right? And the connecting to the movement. We appreciate you all. And again, share how folks can donate. You said Mondays and Fridays from 12 to 3.
Yep.
And
we're located at 1115 South 7th Street. So that's the other thing, is that you'll see a banner that we have hanging outside of the building. And you'll see arrows that are also directing you into an alley. And we have some papel picado that's hanging from the windows.
Okay.
So yeah, folks can stop by Mondays and Fridays to make a donation, 12 to 3. And then for anyone that's in need, people can stop by 4 to 7, Tuesday through Thursday. Another thing that we have seen is that there's this like apprehension to receive help in a way that folks may start to like display like a form of ID, or we see that people start taking out like bills, and we're like, no, literally no
Yeah.
one needs to feel like you need to present us with like your story or anything like that. Like, no, we don't ask any questions. Like, you're here, we know that you need this, and like, here you go. So that's
Beautiful.
another thing, is that folks should not feel any sort of shame or that there's any barriers to receive any aid. Like, this is for anyone that shows up, and we trust, right? We move in through that, right? That we trust that the folks that are coming are the folks that need it. So
Yeah. Beautiful. And that's again Monday and Friday, 12 to 3, and their food, hygiene, diapers were on the
mhm.
top priority list. And if folks want to contribute monetarily, they can do so in, you said, two ways. They can, could you share that again?
Yeah, so that's
Venmo
through Venmo. That's Cosecha 13. If you search on Venmo, that's the same thing for PayPal. It's
and same for PayPal.
PayPal. What is it? .me/Cosecha 13. We'll
And
also
cosecha, will you
do,
spell cosecha for our not
yeah.
Spanish speaking?
COSECHA, and then the number 1 and the number 3.
Great.
We've had a couple of folks that will come with little envelopes of like, aquí están, no sé, unos $20. We have like,
Oh,
we came and donated some cash. Like, I mean, literally for us, it's like any support that we receive. Like we thank everyone right now.
beautiful. And they can also sign up to help delivery. And where
Yeah.
would they contact you all at if they want to get a hold of you?
Yeah, so people can search us on Facebook by looking us up, Ayuda Mutua MKE, and just sending us a message. And from there, we can send over our sign up form.
All right. Thank you for being with us. Thank you
Yes,
for all you're
thank you,
doing.
Penny.
Be
Thank
safe.
you.
Adios. All right. So grateful to have our community members dig in the way just described and to share some of their time with us. Now we're going to move on to our civic engagement segment and welcome our civic engagement manager, Gabe Charles.
Hey everyone, happy to be here with you on this Tuesday. I'm here with some positive news about voting, which feels great. I have not been able to report out a lot of positive happenings during this voter suppression and disenfranchisement that the city and Wisconsin as a whole is experiencing. So, really happy to be here with some positivity for your ears. The last few forums, I've been talking about this Safe Vote program that Alderwoman Dmitrievich introduced, which would provide all registered voters in the city of Milwaukee with an application for an absentee ballot and paid postage to mail in that application for an absentee ballot. And so this passed unanimously in the Common Council chamber meeting this morning. And it was actually co-sponsored by, I'm pretty sure, 14 of the 15 alder people in the council. And so this is really, really good news. Very glad to see unanimous support for something so important that would help reduce voter disenfranchisement during this election in the fall. And just to give you an idea about what that resolution calls for is that it would direct the executive director of the Milwaukee Election Commission to create this Safe Vote program and then to keep the Common Council informed about the details of how it would be implemented within the next 30 days. So there's actually a time period that we can follow and expect news about this program and how it will be implemented and what the plan is. So, of course, SAC will be here to provide you with that information as it comes in. And something else that came out of this chamber meeting this morning that is really good news is that another resolution was passed unanimously that would help support our undocumented community our immigrant community in the city of Milwaukee. And so I'll read directly from the language of this resolution to give you all an idea of what it looks like. This resolution urges all levels of government to ensure that benefits granted under the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Security Act, so the CARES Act or the stimulus that some people are receiving, are shared with all residents regardless of immigration status. It also requests the administration to inform the Common Council of any obstacles to the receipt of resources that it discovers. And this would also call on Mayor Barrett to keep the Common Council informed about what his administration's efforts are in these matters. And so it creates accountability. It does say regular basis, so not really sure exactly what that means, but we will keep you informed about how the administration and the Common Council intends to make sure that any resources coming in, regardless of if it's coming federally or locally, how they intend to extend those resources to our immigrant community. And this is, again, so special that it was passed unanimously, and we are really glad to see this kind of stuff coming out of our Common Council. And so this is all really good news. I know that there are a number of mutual aid organizations that have also popped up. Some that just come to my head are Ayuda Mutua, MKE. You can find them on Facebook. They're out here providing food to anyone on Milwaukee South Side. And also, I know Voces de la Frontera has, I think, a GoFundMe for supporting undocumented families during this time. Another one, MKE Cares on the north side. There's a lot of really great mutual aid popping up for folks during this time, and especially for those that will help support the undocumented community. And so props to all of you. Really happy to be here with all of you providing this good news, and we look forward to seeing what comes of it. I want to take the opportunity again today to introduce you to Captain Census yet again. He is here to provide us with information about how to fill out the census online and some other information about the census. And so I will let him take the stage now. Thank you everyone for being with me, and I will see you tomorrow.
Hello, Wisconsin. Captain Census here, and it's my favorite time of the decade, time to fill out my 2020 census form. Yeah, and I know right now there's a lot going on in the community, but it's more important than ever that you were counted in the 2020 census. And the beauty of it is, it's never been easier to do from home. So you can do it right here at your kitchen table, online, by phone, or you can do it and send it in the mail. I'm gonna do it online. Let's do it. 10 minutes or less, that's gonna change the next 10 years. So we're gonna go to 2020, my2020census.gov. We wanna make sure that we do it in one session because it will time out if you don't complete it. So let's get started here. Start questionnaire. So you're gonna get a unique ID on your letter from the Census Bureau, and you're gonna punch that in. If you happen to lose this letter, that's completely fine. They have a button here in case you lost your census ID. You can do it anyway. All right, so now it's asking me if this ID is indeed tied to this address. Yes, it is. Next step. On April 1st, 2020, will I be living or staying at this address? Yes, I am. What is my name and telephone number? All right, we got Captain Census. Telephone number, nice and easy. All right, we're gonna start some household questions. How many people live and stay in my house? 2. All right, who else is in the house? My lovely spouse, of course. Now we want to make sure we don't miss any children. Children are the most undercounted. Captain Census doesn't have kids yet, so we're just gonna skip this question. No additional people to list. All right, Now we need to see if we're a homeowner or a renter, and Captain Census is currently a renter, so we want to make sure that that is recorded. Now we're going to answer questions about each person on the survey. What's Captain Census's gender? What is his day of birth? We want to make sure that all children that are born on April 1st, 2020 are counted. Next, we're going to get into questions about Hispanic origin. Captain Census is not of Hispanic, Latino, or Spanish origin. Then they're going to ask about race. And if you need guidance on this, the Census Bureau does have guidance on how to answer the race questions on their website. That's it for me. Now on to my spouse here. They answer every question for other people in your household is how they are in relation to the head of household. And now that I've got every person's questions answered in the household, we're going to go on to final questions. So we'd like to make sure everyone is only counted once. Some people live or stay in more than one place. With the grandparents, attending college, in the military, jail or prison, or having a second residence. Does any of that apply to people in our house? Nope. You're almost finished. We can choose to edit it or submit it at this point. And since I feel good about all the answers to our questions, we're going to hit submit. Thanks for completing the 2020 Census Questionnaire. We got a confirmation number here, and you can save and print the screen for your records, and it's that easy. Getting counted, making sure billions of federal dollars are coming to your community, and making sure that you get the political representation that you deserve. It's literally 10 minutes or less that can change the next decade. So make sure you help Captain Census power up and get counted in the 2020 census and make Wisconsin #1 again.
Once again, one of our favorite superheroes, Captain Census, with a very important message about how we impact the next 10 years. I want to share our disclaimer, which I forgot to do at the top of the hour, that the views and opinions shared here on the show don't necessarily reflect those of SOC, as we have guests and new staff learning SOC ways that we share with you. We want to make sure everyone has a voice and a vote and a vehicle to organize, and at the same time, all of those we make space for aren't always those aligned or sanctioned by SOC. We'd like to get to our next section now, encouraging you all to engage with us here. And as I said earlier, there's all kinds of ways you can enter a drawing, and we still would like you all to like and share our Facebook and share your comments here. But right now, Marisol has her daily message. She's our communications and digital manager about how to engage with us and how to enter the drawing.
Hi Community Forum, Marisol here. For this week, April 20th through the 24th, the only way to enter our $25 gift certificate drawing is by filling out the survey that's located in the comments section. Make sure to do that. Thanks so much for tuning in. Now let's find out who's today's winner.
Thank you, Marisol. Today, we have our first day without a winner because yesterday's drawing was for completing the survey. So we want to encourage you for tomorrow, if you want to enter the drawing, please, please, please fill out our survey. As I said earlier, it's 4 short questions. It doesn't take more than 5 minutes. And it is a great help to us and ultimately a great help to you because you give us feedback on what's working and what's not. All right. We're at the end of the forum. And right before we do thank yous, I want to remind you that hopefully we'll have new alderperson Jocasta Samaripa with us tomorrow. And then County Supervisor Silvia Ortiz Velez Thursday, talking to us about what's happening at the county level in response to COVID-19, the coronavirus. For instance, what's happening with transportation, what's happening at the parks. You want to hear the latest direct information right from our county supervisor. And then on Friday, we have Senator Tim Carpenter with us as well. Next week, we have several other guests, and I'll share who those are on Friday, so you don't want to miss that. And then tomorrow, for our Travis fans, Travis Hope, one of our organizers, he'll be on sharing a new project tomorrow as well. And so you want to be here for that. Right now, we have our thank yous to those partners who partner with us financially. Have a great day, be safe, and we'll see you tomorrow at 3 o'clock with SOC.
Hello, SOC viewers. My name is Micaela. I am a youth organizer. We would like to thank everyone for supporting our 3 o'clock with SOC live show for completing our surveys, in addition to thanking our residents for tuning in and sharing our show. We would also like to thank the following sponsors: Wisconsin Voices, Community Development Block Grants, Neo-Philanthropy State Infrastructures Funds, Movement Voters Project, Catholic Campaign for Human Development, Zibber Foundation, City of Milwaukee Office of Violence Prevention, Tides Foundation, City of Milwaukee's Promise Zones, all the faithful individuals who supported SOC through their personal donations. Thank you.